Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of the Creative Coaching Cafe. And no, it's not just me. I've got my usual presenter with me, who you'll see in a minute, and we've got a very special guest. And here is my presenter, my co-presenter. And is she there tonight? Hello, Marie-Louise.
I'm here. Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm going perfect.
Yeah, okay. Last week I asked you if you were feeling alive, and you said, yes, I'm alive. So I suppose you're alive. And have you got your coffee mug today?
Definitely. It's not a mug, but it's...
Oh, we need a bit more character. Look at this. Check this out. Check this out.
Oh, yeah.
A
what coffee?
Black coffee, black clothes, black magic, black rose.
Everything black.
Black shirt. And that comes direct from the catacombs of Paris.
Oh.
So I thought I would choose something a little bit strange this week because our topic is about, we've got two topics. They're linked because it's the same guest. And we're going to talk about the concept of self-love and using art as a way of expressing that in particular.
Absolutely.
Because that's the speciality of our guest, who we'll bring on in a minute. I just wanted to ask you, Marie-Louise, a lot of people talk about self-love in the sort of, self-development, self-help circles and coaching. What is self-love for you?
Okay, first of all, self-love for me is about recognizing myself as an infinite being. And with my dark sides, my bright sides, all of me. And it's about loving myself as a whole. Okay.
Yeah, and for me, I mean, it's pretty much the same. I always thought self-love was a bit strange. It's like I only think about me, and yet, so how am I going to, it almost sounds like selfish. But then I started thinking, well, if I like myself, then I should be able to get on better with others, I guess. But let's bring on our guest, and our guest is let me see if I can show you something a little funky. This is our guest.
Where is she?
We're going to have her actually moving in a minute, but this is our guest. She's called Nathalie Dadian, and she is a specialist in mandalas, and also she's a coach who helps people feel good about themselves. So let me bring that back on. And let me bring on Nathalie. Nathalie, are you there?
I'm here. Hello. Hi.
Hi, Nathalie.
How are you today? Where are you? You're in France, but you're not in Paris.
No, I'm not in Paris. I'm in the south, in Nice, on the _Риviera, by the water.
Okay.
How nice.
And is it nice in Nice at the moment?
It's beautiful. It's very, very warm. I've got the shutters closed so that it keeps it cool.
But
yes,
it's beautiful. You're not French, even though your name sounds French.
I'm not. I'm French, and I'm also Australian. So I was born in Australia and lived most of my life in Australia. Spent a few years in France as a little kid, and then came back and lived in France. Moved to France in end of 2017. So I've been here for a year and a half. So all my family's French. My parents are French. My dad is Armenian. And so I'm a mixture of a little bit of Français and a little bit of English. So Australian.
Hey, French flavor tonight. We should have a French flag.
French flavor.
And Aussie.
And Aussie, yeah. And Britain. No, I don't want to shout about being British.
No.
So let's go right into it.
Okay.
Why self-love? What is self-love? What's all this about? Tell us.
Self-love. Well, it's a big word that encapsulates a lot of different things. But self-love is pretty much, to me, as I see and understand self-love, is that it's all about what something that we deliberately do, any type of activity that we deliberately do that actually enhances our mental and emotional health as well as our physical well-being. So it's all about doing what's right for us, what makes us happy. Like you were saying before, for you, self-love is about being whole, seeing yourself as whole. And I love to play with words. And you said, is it selfish to love yourself? Actually, it's not. It's being self-full to love yourself. And it's been a very long journey for me to understand, and I'm still understanding what self-love is. It's we're constantly learners in this world. But it's pretty much about putting ourselves first, loving ourselves, because the more we love ourselves, the more we can love others. The more we give ourselves to ourselves, the more we can give to others. So, for example, you know how we're having a cup of coffee tonight?
Yeah.
When our cup is full and it overflows, right, because we're pouring so much love into ourselves and it overflows with the cup, what overflows is for you. What's inside is actually for me. You know, so that's how I see it, that, you know, the more we look after ourselves on many different levels and in many different ways, the more we've got to offer, and our life transforms because of that.
It makes me think of this concept of an abundance mindset as opposed to a scarcity mindset. Is it basically that?
Totally, an abundance.
There's plenty.
Mhm, mhm.
So there's no need to keep it for ourselves, but we need to have something in ourselves to feel great about giving as well.
Exactly. I mean, we can't give what we don't have.
Yeah. Or some people give, but they please other people, but from an empty place. And they don't know. They don't know it. I used to do it. That's why I say
Me too. I used to do it. I used to do amazing, you know, things, and I would feel empty and sad on the inside when I should have been happy. But, you know, by giving to others, it used to fulfill that hole within me. But it wasn't until I fulfilled that hole within me, whatever that hole was, unworthiness or, you know, everything shifted. So, you know, it's about being kind to ourselves, to saying no when we want to say no, not be a people pleaser, you know, there's so many different things. Like it's vital though. It's vital. To me, it's the final puzzle to the big piece of life.
To create the better relationships with others, like authentic relationships, not from scarcity, I need you, I need your attention, but from, you know, like authentic connection and exchange, you know?
Totally. And I think the way that we love ourselves is also how we love other people. You know, if we're controlling and you know, very demanding on ourselves, you're most likely to very much the same with somebody else, the way you love them. In my opinion, this is just how I see things.
Yeah.
But, you know.
So you mean that if you are very demanding with yourself, you're going to be demanding with others, and if you don't fulfill the needs that you have within, you are going to ask from the outside what you don't give yourself to yourself?
I believe so. I agree with that. I think that's how we survive when we're not in balance, when we're not, you know, when things are going on. Like if I feel unloved, and I think nobody loves me, I'll go out there to feel more loved and try and get attention or, you know, feel loved. But if I loved myself, then I would realize that I don't need anybody else to love me for me to feel loved. You know, when I am loved, it's a bonus. So that's that kind of mindset where it is about abundance. But, you know, it starts with us. And, you know, if we can't love ourselves, who can?
Okay, can I just say that thanks to you guys for watching. We've got a few viewers. We've got
hello.
We've got. Can you guys on the screen see the comments or not?
No.
No, you can't. Okay. Yeah, you'd have to have another Facebook window open, I think, for that. But anyway, we've got some viewers. Yay!
Nice.
We've got Nathalie. We've got Ingrid again. Hey, Ingrid. We've got Tim Kuta. Listen, you guys, if you want to ask a question, just type it in the chat, and we'll discuss it. We'll put it to the panel. I did have a question. Have you got any sort of, imagine someone is low on self-esteem or self-love or this sort of thing. Have you got sort of one or two tips on how someone could start feeling better about themselves, especially if they're in a very low place at the moment?
For sure. I think the first thing to do is to actually start shifting the focus on what is good in your life. If you're feeling down because everything is crumbling around you, there has to be one good thing that's still good in your life. So whether it's you're still alive, you're surviving it, or you have someone next to you, or, you know, you've got a roof over your head. As basic and as simple as it is to just start shifting your focus on what's good. And so when you focus on what's good and what you appreciate also about yourself, that, you know, I mean, you might be going through a loss of someone, for example, you know, that you've just lost someone dear, and that's happened to me. And, you know, that you just focus on the gratitude of still having your daughter with you. you know, that she's still here and that you've got your health. And it just takes, for a transformation, for a shift to happen, it just takes a very, very small change.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's one of the things you can do, is start shifting your focus to looking at what's good in your life, and to focus on gratitude, no matter how small it is. It could be the air in the room, in the sky, or the blue sky. It doesn't matter how small. It's just to start shifting your mind. And the second thing I would suggest would be to do something that actually makes you feel good. So if you know singing on the top of your lungs in the shower makes you feel good, do that.
Do it.
A bunch of flowers, or, you know, calling up someone that you know that adores you and you adore them, that always makes you feel good. Drink a cup of coffee, you know, whatever you know, I think we shouldn't measure what is and what isn't. It's what's important to us. So for me, if a cup of coffee makes my day, then that's all that matters. If for you it means nothing, it doesn't matter. You know, it's what's good for us. So I think doing something that we love. And then the third thing, and I'm very biased on this, the third thing I would suggest is to actually get out of your body what you're feeling by creating something, whether it is to draw, whether it is to move your body, whatever it is, but to have a physical aspect.
Exactly.
You know,
be in the movement,
what you're going through. Yeah.
Get it out.
But, so can I ask, so Marie-Louise, do you have anything that you do to, when you're feeling not so happy, to cheer yourself up? I don't know, do you go running, or you draw or write?
Yeah. So I move my body, because I love to move my body, actually. So I go running, I move. I physically, I walk, and I go into nature. I do, what do I do? I sing, and I dance.
I hear you from Nice. I hear you regularly. I hear you from Nice when you sing from Paris.
Oh my God.
Maybe this is your moment, Marie-Louise. You know, maybe we have 2 or 3 minutes if you feel like it.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not gonna do that now.
So you go into nature and you move your body, for example.
Yeah, exactly. And I dance. I love dancing. I love singing. I just sing out of my lungs. As you said, Nathalie. What do? I write. I read. I go to have coffee in the city, or I go. What I do also, it's photography. I love to take photos. I love that. And each time I'm going to have a ride with my family, I stop and I take a photo. I stop and take a photo there. Like I stop taking photos. We want to just, walk. And I love those things.
And what about me? Is anyone going to ask me what I do?
Yeah.
What are you doing, Tab?
What are you doing, Sam? Your nails. You love to do your nails.
I go into nature. I go walking in the woods, or running sometimes if I'm feeling. Yeah, and I mean, that just does it for me. Something happens in nature. I used to joke about, people who hug trees and things, but to be honest, I love trees. Trees speak to me. Well, kind of.
Be careful. Just one thing, and you do create paintings, and you.
Yeah, but what I mean is to get the inspiration. If I'm not feeling it very much, and I go into nature, and I go. If I go walking in nature with someone, I feel closer to everything. It's really strange. Graveyards are one of the places where I have the best conversations with people. I don't know, there's some sort of peace about them. And the woods are wonderful. You go walking in nature, and then I have a million ideas, and I come back and I start doing stuff. And we call this the Creative Coaching Cafe. So something you said, Nathalie, is very close to my heart, and that is using creativity it's like posing your feelings in a way which, as we were saying earlier, you can talk with someone, it's great, but you go away and sometimes you still feel a little empty. But I think your approach through using art, which you can tell us about in a second, is that people don't just talk about their feelings or let them out. There's a kind of permanent record of that moment, which can become very significant.
I agree.
Can you tell us about that a little bit?
Sure. And can I just add a little something about the 3 things that are good, to help you? What happens is that when we're in crisis mode, where we're in breakdown mode, we resist. And it's really hard for us to take that step towards self-love.
Yeah.
Like, you know, fear overwhelms us, pain overwhelms us, and we're stuck. And that it's when we're actually having those feelings that it's a sign for us to actually do something else. Like to step out of it and not fight it, like feel those feelings. You're entitled to have all those emotions of being upset because you're going through something, but try to also be kind to yourself by also infusing yourself with, you know, the gratitude or the creativity or, you know, just something, just a little something, you know, and that's all it takes to shift you.
And those feelings, of course, I don't know, some people have different points of view, you know, negative feelings, you've got to get rid of them, as though some feelings are good and some are bad. But I have the feeling that all feelings are just, they're information. Our body is telling us things. If we're feeling sad, we've got to be sad for a while. And then later on, we'll be happy again. But if we try to kill those feelings, like some feelings are okay, we'll keep those
avoiding
some feelings, you know, that, I mean,
and society tells us we always have to be happy, we have to be successful, we have to be like this, all those norms. But you know, life.
If you're not, you can buy this product, and you might be.
Oh yeah, and you can look like this and feel like this or smell like this. Or, you know, it's
instant happiness in a bottle.
Yeah.
So what are some of the techniques that you like to use with people who aren't feeling so good?
With the techniques with.
Yeah, the sort of things you use to help people.
With the mandalas, with the creativity.
Tell us about your art. Tell us about your art.
I'll tell you about my art. Oh, I love my art. Well, first of all, just so you understand that I just didn't go and learn about art and this was it. I actually had to experience the magic of art. I had to experience its incredible healing power and transformation for me to now have this passion within me to share it with others. So I lost my husband tragically. And I was a powerful woman at the time and had a great job and on TV and so on. And it cut me to my knees. But I kept on going because I had to be a mother and so on. And so 2 years later, I completely collapsed. And I fell into a massive depression. And I was a personal development person and nothing worked. And I decided to do a sacred garden on the side of the home of my house for my late husband and met an artist, saw a mandala. And I fell in love with it. And I said, oh, what's this? What's this? And she said, oh, my friend teaches mandalas. And I said, okay. I said, my year 11 teacher failed me. There's no way I haven't got an ounce of creativity in my body. Forget it. You know? And I went beyond my fear and I went and here I am today, completely transformed my life. And so what happened was that the power in creativity, because by the time I hit the depression, I had no more tears. I had no more words. I'd had enough of grief counselors and bless them. I think they're amazing. But I was at a point of mental exhaustion and physical exhaustion and nothing.
You've said a couple of times to me that mandalas saved your life.
They have. They completely saved my life. Wow. I mean, I've been on the most incredible journey since that day. I haven't looked back. I've done some incredible projects and brought tens of thousands of people together, and I've done just incredible things. But most importantly, I got to fulfill a passion of mine that I dreamt of being an artist since my art teacher failed me in year 11, you know, and I had to wait for a tragedy, unfortunately, for that to come out and unleash itself. But the thing about the art is that when you're in suffering and when you're in pain, no matter what it is you're going through, whether you've lost a job or whatever it may be, we've had enough of speaking. We've had, you know, sometimes the tears, we've cried so much, there's none left. And with art, and especially mandalas, they're incredible. I think it's one of the most beautiful art in the world, is that you work from the unconscious. So you don't say, for example, you know, I'm going to paint this, you know, this is what I'm going to do. This is my little inspiration, by the way.
I've painted a smiley, I have, you know.
Did you? I've got lots of smileys here with all different different moods. I'll share them with you later. And so, you know, it works with the unconscious. So you basically are expressing a story, inner emotions through colors, shapes, and symbols. So for me, for example, my first one was, my husband was later South African. And so I ended up painting an South African woman who was dancing, and behind her was the world. And around her was just plain golden lotus flowers. And now I can read mandalas, I can interpret them, but I didn't know that at the time. And my teacher told me what was going on because I wanted to know what kind of woman I had become. And when I had finished that painting, I thought to myself, if I could create something so beautiful, what else can I create in my life that is so beautiful? And that really started changing the focus for me in my life. Was I wanted to feel more good. I wanted to feel that good feeling. I've been missing it when you're suffering from a depression or whatever it may be. You want to feel good. You get a good feeling. You want to hold on to it, and that's what I did. And through my healing, the most incredible thing with my art was, if I wanted joy in my life, I would paint joy. And the person who ended up with my art, if I wanted joy, there would be joy from here to here. They would have the biggest smile. And if I had just gained some joy in my life and I painted it, the person that I ended up with was a person that needed joy. So I'm just sharing this because it shows the power of symbols and colors. You don't need words. You understand. Right. It speaks 1,000 words, basically.
So can we show? I've got a couple of pictures to show you. We've got some people here saying, we've got Ingrid who's saying nature and art belong together. That's what she believes. And she also says we do the same work. So maybe we've got
you can.
I'm not exactly sure who she's talking to or what sort of work she does. But
yes, Ingrid, a very
I'm in love with her already.
I wanted to show you, okay, I'm going to show you a mandala. And actually it's a bit of one. I'm not sure what happened to the whole thing because they're round. Okay, now that's an example of one of them. And it's
we don't see the center. Yeah.
No, you can't see. No, this is all you've got because I had the whole thing, but I wanted you to see the detail. The detail is absolutely
amazing,
incredible. I mean, look at all those dots, the detail, the beautiful colors, the circles, the lines. So it's a great example. And I'll also just bring back. And I'm going to give you.
Behind me. Can you see it behind me? She's behind me as well.
I can't see it very well because it's quite dark. Maybe
okay.
Can you see it? Can you grab it? Can you hold it to show us or not?
Yeah.
Don't break it.
I might not be able to hear you.
We hear you.
You can hear me. Can you see it?
Okay, now look at that. That's amazing. Ooh. You're a little bit fuzzy for me. I don't know if it's Marie-Louise. Can you see her okay?
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. So this is me.
That is incredible.
You see the illuminating focal point, how it just glows?
Yeah.
You can see it. It's a 100-year-old technique, and in this is where the magic begins of a mandala. Because the
center.
Yeah, and the center is us. The center is ourselves. And so we do layers and layers of color, and then we add the symbols. Like, you wouldn't believe how many layers of paint there is on here.
Yeah.
How many times I changed the symbols and the colors. Because it was based on what my emotions were at the time. Mandalas are incredible.
Okay, I'm going to give you a background, all of your own. There we are. Okay, just put your headphones on again. I just want to make sure that the microphone is working for you.
Right. And you have so many of them. I mean, different colors, shapes. They represent or they say something. Each one of them.
Lots of.
I mean, do you give people guidelines for the shapes they can use and the colors they could use together, or is it free for all? Whatever comes out is what should have came out.
That's right. I mean, I guide people as to what shapes and symbols there are out there, but I encourage them to set an intention when they create a mandala with me, and that they align it with how they're feeling. Like this one behind me I just showed you is called Fly, the first Love Yourself. And so I had cut out a lot of shapes of hearts and flowers for growth and petals, and so I was just doing what I was feeling, because the thing about a mandala is it's a circle. And really translated from Sanskrit, it actually means there's no beginning, there's no end. And it means circle. But it's a repetitive pattern. In a mandala, you have a repetitive pattern all the time. And you've got geometry and symmetry. And it's amazing that when we create, it's all us. And mandala, call me crazy. I already know I'm crazy, but you know, I'm a good crazy, but it's just that it represents us. The mandala is us. And, you know, from the first painting I did from this lady I was telling you, dancing with the world behind her, my teacher said to me, Natalie, you have to put this painting on exhibition. And I said, no, this is very personal for me.
And it was the first one?
The first one, yes. And so I said, okay, put it on an exhibition, charge 3 times as much as everybody else is selling theirs, and I'm off to France anyway, so I didn't. But when I came back, she said this woman was fascinated with my painting. She was obsessed. And this is incredible. Every time I say it, it brings me back and it gives me shivers. That woman, the same thing happened to her with her husband that it happened to me. And she was able to see my pain, my everything that I had put into that painting, she could relate to it. And that's the day when I knew my life would change, and it did.
So did you do any more mandalas? Did you get any other interest, or anything interesting happen? Any Facebook pages get created?
Yes. Well, you know, I'm very big on giving. I think living is in the giving, and I love creating. I absolutely adore creating. And so I started a mandala page called Mandalas of the World. And I just started.
How many people are up to that? How many people like that?
145,000.
Just a few.
I've got 145 liking my page.
And I just grew it with just passion.
And you want to make a movement, actually.
Pardon?
You want to make a movement out of this art. No?
I do. Well, with Fly, what happened with Fly
you've got 2 things, haven't you? You've got 2. Yeah. You've got the mandala side of things, and you've got a new project.
Yes.
And you're kind of bringing them together. Let me when I try to share the screen.
She was saying something, Sab, just by the way.
Yeah?
Yeah. The Fly movement? Go ahead. Because I'm excited to know more.
Okay. So basically, when I was doing the Fly mandala, I was going through a big transformation within myself about self-love. It was the most fun painting I've ever created, you know, and it was through a Speak and Inspire course with the one and only Lisa Nichols that I actually got to experience this massive transformation. And so the one song, because with mandalas, you know, you're expressing yourself and you're not consciously doing things. You're not thinking, you're just fully expressed. Listen to the one song over and over again. I think about 100 times, and that's Beyonce from a song called Love on Top. And I was dancing and I was singing and I was painting. It was amazing. And then this beautiful soul sister of mine called Ashley said to me, Natalie, you need to take this out to the world. You need to first love yourself. People need to know how important this is. Yeah. And so I created the Fly movement, which is first love yourself. And it was July when we thought of the idea. So I thought Fly in July. Yeah. And so Ashley and I, you know, we're taking this to massive places. We have a very, very large vision. We're going to be interviewing the world's most powerful people who love themselves. We're going to be sharing this on a platform. We're looking at a documentary. We're looking at many, many things. And we just started an appreciation game. And we got our first winner of fish. It was so exciting. I feel like I'm a little kid again with this movement. Yeah. So it was beautiful. And we're encouraging everybody every day for this month of July. This is our game. For everybody to take 30 seconds every single day to write 3 things about yourself that you appreciate. Yeah. And then they post it below, and you know they've watched our video and things like that, and then they go into the draw to win some prizes.
Okay, so just brought this up just so that people can see. The last one was the mandala.
Yeah, anybody who's interested can get in and start, right?
They can. Yes, of course they can. It's a free game to join. That's not a problem. They just go onto the Fly Movement page. They have to have a look at the video. To win the prizes, because we need the support of our audience to spread the words as much as possible. And so we just ask them just to love the video, because we're all about love, and Have you noticed? I only love things on Facebook. I don't press like anymore. I just love everything. It's just love, love, love. And then just to tag 3 people they love, and then to share it, and they go in the draw to win some prizes. So we've got our first winner from Australia. So funny enough.
Wait a minute, you're from Australia. You sure that's not, your sister or someone? No?
No, not at all. She well deserves this. She's been incredible. If you read some of her posts of what she shared, that's you. Hello.
We're live. We're even live on your page. It works.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, so I mean, do check that out. Look at that. There's one of your metaphors. Keep your cup full. You've even got a mandala in the.
That's one of my mandalas in there.
You're joking?
No, it's called Dreams Do Come True.
Did you create that in the coffee cup?
I created the original mandala. I think that's just an application.
That is amazing. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it is cool.
So that's great. I mean, you're an amazing example of someone who.
Thank you.
You created something, but I get the feeling that to create something amazing, you need to have had a big push, and very often it's a difficult situation. And
I've been through the dirt to get to here. Believe me.
I keep thinking of this thing that the phoenix from the ashes rises. And I mean, on a very, very small level, if I've had a broken relationship or something, I've gone out into my famous woods, and I've often written a poem. Something has been created from something that didn't seem so good, which wouldn't have been created if I hadn't gone through that. So
yeah,
it's not always easy you can't just click your fingers and say, hey, I'm going to think positive about this horrible situation. But it's almost as though the body tells you, don't stop there. Create something new, which will touch others, and it'll be okay. I don't know.
We'll learn something from it. Yeah. Sorry, Marie-Louise.
And this is about transformation, actually. And you're giving hope to people to go from a dirty place, difficult place, to something bigger and more beautiful.
Definitely. I mean, I think it's so important that we rely on ourselves, because we're capable of it. People sometimes, it's not what happens to us in life that actually matters the most. It's who we become out of those experiences that matters the most in life. I think that's the essence of life. I think we just, pain happens to all of us, but suffering becomes a choice in any situation. And I think that, when we have self-love, self-care, even Richard Branson at the moment, he's big into self-care. He's launching a virgin venture about self-care in the business place, and self-care is becoming, it's vital. People are running out on, your car won't drive if you don't put petrol in it. And we've done it long enough to keep going on an empty tank, and now it's time that we just fill ourselves up and realize that we are capable of so much. We can do so much. We can, but we have to be kind to ourselves. We have to be, good to ourselves. It's
the best gift we can, give to ourselves, our attention and our, self-recognition and self-love.
I have a very dear friend of mine. His name is 𝗔𝗏𝗏, and he was the one that actually opened up the doorway for me of self-love. And it started with self-worth. I had absolutely no self-worth. And he was the one that kept questioning me as a coach as to why this, why that, and I just recently, I had an aha moment, and I realized that, I thanked him, as you just said, and said, self-love is you being the one who opened the doors of self-love is the most beautiful gift anybody could give to another person. And this is where, I'm honored to be, to be able to go out there into this world and show people. And I'm just beginning. It's been officially 1 week and 1 day since Fly has been launched.
Wow.
I want to be known as a fly woman. One day you will see a woman in the sky flying with a parachute.
So what does a fly woman look like? Has she got a disguise or anything?
I'll wear my Coco Chanel glasses.
Oh, no. Put them on again. Put them on. Put them on. Put them on.
Screenshot.
No, put them on. Come on, let's go.
No, you're making me the main screen.
You are the main screen. Yeah.
Woo! That's it. The fly woman. It's
Yeah, there
the
she
cat
is.
fly. The fly woman.
That's
I'll
beautiful.
get the latest ones next time.
Okay, listen, before we finish up, I do have a question for you about art techniques, because I did a bit of that once. But before, no, I have a little present for you, but I'll tell you about that in a second.
I do too.
You do? Oh, okay. Yeah, so she's got a present for us. I've got a present for her. And Marie-Louise, I don't know, you can
just
contribute your coffee cup or something.
Just
So I did.
Throw yourself in the,
I did some art therapy a little while ago. For it was great. I had this therapist because I had a thing I was doing far too much, along the lines of pouring liquid down my throat. And I had one guy, kind of therapist guy, and he was and he was checking his phone and he was checking his watch. It didn't work for me. I had another therapist guy. I mentioned something and he would run to try and find something in relation to that. One day I looked at a picture on his wall and I said, oh, I really like that one. It was sort of abstract. And he ran to his bookcase. He picked up a book on abstract art and he said, which do you like? We had a discussion. So he was kind of meeting me where I was, as it were. And it came to his mind, you should try art therapy. Or, I don't know what exactly you call it, but something along the lines of using colors to feel better about yourself and move on. And I did an art therapy type of thing that was not mandalas. And I'd like to know what your opinion on it is. Basically, they asked us, the first exercise we had to do was painting a piece of paper with two colors. The first, on one end, you started with blue. The other, you started with yellow. And they had to merge into each other, but not just like half yellow and half blue. And if you've ever tried painting with a dark blue and a light yellow, I mean, as soon as it's like putting black onto white, there's no smoothness at all. It's either black or it's white. So the challenge was to create a piece of paper which went seamlessly from blue to yellow. And I started doing it and I was getting frustrated and so on. But then I slowly sort of got into it. There was some nice music playing. She put something nice smelling in the background. And I slowly got into these sort of paint strokes, just again and again, softly, gently. And then I thought, and then all of a sudden she said, okay, that's it for today. And I thought I'd been doing it for 5 minutes. And she said, no, that's 2 hours. You've got to go.
Wow.
And something happened during that process. So do you just do mandalas, or have you tried these more sort of different techniques, or how does that work?
I've tried different techniques, but I just love mandalas, and I think there's no right or there's no wrong techniques. I think it's pretty much based on what's right for the person. Like your therapist saw exactly that, you were attracted to the abstract, so they went and got this. So it's about finding out what the person needs. But I specialize in a mandala is because it's a circle, so you're confined to like a little space, and you're bound to create a masterpiece. I mean, I had a woman once who had a stroke and had one arm. She was told she'll never draw or paint again, and she created a masterpiece. Almost everyone I've taught have created a masterpiece. Whether they're 9 years old, whether they're 80 years old, it doesn't matter. Homeless, a homeless mother to, indigenous kids in the middle of the desert. People from all walks of life. Like that's what I love about mandalas. Is it's quite an incredible, easy tool where you don't need any art experience. So with the art therapy, I mean, you can create mandalas as well as part of some of the programs that I do. Is that you can do collages that tell a story, but it's the one mandala that paints your picture. It could be also inside the mandala where you're writing, you're journaling inside your mandala. But you do your base. You know how I said about the eliminating. Here I am. Am I pointing at the right side again?
Pointing at the window. Very nice window.
The opposite. The focal point where it's just illuminating in the center. That is, that has to be in the mandala as part of the therapy, because it is very, very profound, and you don't know how profound it is until you've done it. Because imagine you're doing this, you're going around
Absolutely. But do you start from the outside and you go in, or you?
It depends the people. I mean, if you start from the inside, I've started mandalas from the outside. And usually for me, it's because I was chaotic in my life, you know, and then I had to go back to my center.
Yeah.
Whereas,
the core.
you know, yeah. And because you have to find the center of a mandala, you have to find the center. And from there, you do your circles and your colors and things like that. So, and you work your way out.
It means something else to go from the inside to the outside. And
pardon? Sorry, I missed that.
It says something else when you do.
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, definitely. I think when you start from the inside, you also, you know, you're starting from the core of something that's really important. When you're starting from the outside, you might be a little bit unsure of what it is that you're looking for, and you'll get to it by the time you reach the core. You know. But I also had a student once who just did a mandala, and she refused to. You know, the circle, she goes, I don't want to listen to the circle. I want to go outside the circle. I said, okay, that's fine. And she wanted to let her inner child out to play. And, you know, and so there's no rules as such, you know. I mean,
I must admit, I used to laugh a little bit at these mandala books that you would find in the shops.
Very different.
Thinking it was, I can see that. And this was before my enlightening experience of actually doing art therapy for myself. I thought it was just, you know, like coloring by dots or coloring for grown-ups. And then I realized that the symbolism and the effect that it has on people is very profound. But I mean, you don't just get someone to color a mandala and off you go home, enjoy it on the wall. You accompany them.
That's right. And they continue to do it. When we're not together, they want to continue it, you know, that they want to. And the thing is that they can use the mandalas, you know, I mean, the idea is that you create a mandala for you're expressing yourself, whether you're content in your life, you know, where you're at, or whether you're not happy and you're suffering, wherever you're at, you're creating a picture and you're capturing a moment in your life, and you're creating your own story, you know, and with that, you can use it later as a meditation tool. You can sit there and you can just sit and relax. Every time I walk past my mandalas, I feel something. It reminds me when I look at my new beginning, this one, we won't be able to see, it's too dark, but it reminds me, I know what I went through in that painting. I know what it means to me. So it evokes, it's like when you smell lavender oil, it reminds you of something. It's the same kind of thing. So it's and you can pass it on as a legacy too, like it's something, it's you, you created this.
I'd like to just acknowledge some people who are in the comments here. 𝗂𝗏𝗄𝗏 is here, your partner in crime. Now I think she's helping out on the project, or you're doing it together?
Yes, we are doing it together.
𝗂𝗏𝗄𝗏, she's from
Turkey.
Turkey. She's a lovely friend of mine. We've got
she's an incredible author. Donna's here.
Donna's here. Yeah, hi Donna. Great to have you. It's been a long time since we've connected, and we've got she's just saying that she appreciates what you're saying, how your art resonated with the woman who shared her tragedy with you. I can actually show you some of these comments. This is Ashley. How do you ignite the feeling, cultivating self-love in you over and over? This is kind of an older comment, so I'm not sure what she's relating to.
How do I ignite the feeling? But how do you ignite the feeling of self-love is I ignite it. I try to do it automatically, but sometimes I need to ignite it. Like if something terrible happens that's unexpected for me, which has happened to me like 2 days ago, and I had to uplift my game of self-love and go to another level completely. So, you know, again, for me, the basics are gratitude to ignite the feeling of self-love. I go straight away to thinking, I might not have this right now. This is what's happening. And it's not ignoring what's going on. That's not what it's about. But it's more about, you know, it's like if you think of something negative, you'll see everything negative. You'll feel everything negative. If you think of something good and positive, you will, you know, things will be different around you. People will treat you differently. I mean, we don't go walk up to someone who's grumpy. You keep away from people like that, you know, so we give out things about ourselves too. So I hope that answers your question to my partner in crime. Not in crime, partner in flying.
To be grumpy?
Right.
Is it possible to be grumpy if you're creating? There seems to be it doesn't seem to be part of it. As soon as you start creating, you stop being grumpy, don't you?
I've created mandalas, and I was as angry as anything. I started with bright red, and I did layers of red and brown, trying to ground myself, and red and brown and red.
Wow.
Because and you don't consciously sit there and go, oh, you know, it's
you just express the feelings and the emotions, and you don't. It's a process. You're processing, right?
And you actually, you know what? The most important thing is letting it go.
Yeah.
Because I was saying that earlier on to someone, that I saw counselors and grief counselors and did personal development courses, and nothing was healing my grief. And it wasn't until I got it out and created something with it that I could actually see it, something that I had done, is when I shifted. Yeah. And I think that's vital to anybody wanting to heal today and transform, because what's going to come out is going to be incredible.
Yeah, bringing it out. I mean, putting that into a masterpiece, something really tangible.
And you think my pain came from this. Sorry,
yes.
No, let's just go through a few comments quickly. Linda is saying we create our own reality. Our thoughts become things.
Definitely.
Ingrid is saying one day you fly away.
We do.
Okay. Very profound comment here. Amazing from Ashley. Oh, if you insist. David is saying, yes.
He's a fly man. He told me today he's a fly man. David is a fly man.
There you go. Spread the word.
Another one.
You're going to tell us about a special offer you have on a mandala course in a second. Dawna's saying it's so lovely being with you all. Thank you, Dawna. It's so lovely to have you here. Hearts
Thank
from
you for
Ashley.
being here.
Someone's saying love to Leonardo, but I haven't seen Leonardo, so Leonardo must be here.
Hello.
Yeah, Dawna is saying love that, starting from inside or outside. Yeah, I think that's amazing. You put the symbolism you want into it. I mean, I know some people will say start maybe, you know, if you're feeling in yourself, you start from the middle and maybe you finish outside, and then you're ready to go and meet others. Or maybe if you need to center yourself, you should start outside and go in. I don't know. I like imagining what it means, you know. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, and we've got Ashley saying wonderful insight, starting from core or outside, profound, going through layers like in life, in the journey. Metaphors are so wonderful. I love metaphors so much, and I think human beings do. Hi, Leonardo. Hi, guys. How you doing? Love you all from Dawna. Leonardo says Sab, which is my name.
Yeah, right.
Sending love to all here. That's great.
Sending it all back to you.
Apparently, Carmen is here. Oh my God, this is great, isn't it? Wonderful. Yeah, all the Speak and Inspire tribe. I'm sorry. Yeah.
But this is my first live.
Yeah,
so,
this is actually apparently, if we believe her, Nathalie.
I think it's getting darker though, huh?
Official live. Yeah, you can turn the lights on if you like. No.
Yeah, I'm gonna do
that. Am I getting dark?
Yeah,
I'm getting ready to fly.
Right. Oh, and Wang is here as well. Carmen is here. Oh my God, this is amazing.
Hi, Carmen. Well, we love you too.
Love you all. That's great.
Oh, how wonderful. How wonderful.
Listen, get to the end of this. Don't forget our presents, everybody. But what is the special thing that you are preparing? You've got a course coming up, and you're going to offer something. What's that?
Well, I actually I've just
no
with some of my.
Where's?
Am I here?
I pressed the wrong button. Start again. I pressed the wrong button.
Okay. Is Marie-Louise still here?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm actually doing this Saturday. I'm starting because I've had quite a few people asking me to do some mandalas, and now that I've moved to France, some people on the other side of the world can't have access. So I've put an online course together, and it starts this Saturday. It's already full, unfortunately, but there's going to be another few more courses coming up. So what I wanted to offer for tonight is I'm really big on when I provide a service, when I provide something for the community. It's getting hot in here, I think. When I provide a service, I actually would like the person who I'm being of service to be able to give something to someone and get even more value from me than what I'm giving what they're giving me. Does that make sense?
I'll take the spotlight off you. There you go. Yep. So what is it? What is it?
So basically, I'm offering to 20 people because I'm doing this only for 8 sessions. I'm obsessed with number 8. Okay. So I'm only doing 8 classes because I have quite a heavy schedule coming up. And so I'm fitting in these 8 classes, and it's basically a 4-week course online with me, 2 hours every single week. And I'm doing it at a price again, number 8. And it's a crazy price, but it's a price that feels right for me. But most importantly too is that in doing this course, the first 20 people that actually enroll will be able to gift somebody to do the 4-week course with them at no extra charge. So that's so I think this will be something beautiful, because if you know someone who also needs this, and most of the time when we're suffering, like I was saying before, to get in self-love, we can have some resistance, and you can say, hey, come with me. So they can give to someone. So I'm offering this to the first 20 people, so they can go onto my Fly Movement page and send me a little DM and say they saw the video. And it's €80 for 4 weeks.
Okay,
so I think
€80. So it's basically it's 8 sessions with you. Do we see you? It's a little bit like this.
4 sessions.
4 sessions, 2 hours per week.
2 hours each, and we see you on the computer screen, and we get the materials beforehand. And
you have the materials. Yep. You get the materials.
How to do mandalas.
And we do it like this. And so there'll be close-ups, and and I'm always there if I'm helping the people at the moment to choose their colors and
So you are showing us, the people, how to make it. You are creating it at the same time, or?
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes, of course. Yes.
Okay.
I'll try to show them all my secrets.
Great.
All my secrets. So
that's amazing. Yeah.
So what do they need? Just painting, play, or what?
The thing they need the most is a particular brush that I get them to get, which is quite a cheap brush, but it's actually a very important tool to get a good quality one, as well as a compass. They're your 2 main tools that you need to be good.
Good paper,
canvas, words, ruler, crayon, like a pencil.
So when is that starting, Nathalie?
It starts this Saturday, but this Saturday's already full, unfortunately. But then there'll be one the following week on the 27th, and it will finish about the end of August.
Okay, so people could do it as a summer project, and they can go to the Fly Movement 88 or the Fly Movement on Facebook and get all the details, or send you a message.
They'll send me a direct message and just say that they've come from, they had a coffee with me on Tuesday night. We sat with Marie-Louise and we had a coffee.
Did you actually show us your coffee mug? I can't remember.
So mine's got joy.
Joy. Oh, that's perfect, isn't it?
Yeah.
Huh? 𝗏𝗏, Marie-Louise. Joy. You approve,
I drink the joy.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's all full. It's full of joy in here. See, it overflows.
Okay. I wanted to. I've got a little present for you, Nathalie, for coming on.
Oh, I love presents.
Yeah, I don't want you to feel bad or to compare yourself to me or anything, because I'm an artist, and I know that you haven't been doing mandalas for very long. So whatever you do, it's giving, it's sharing, it's not competing. I did a mandala.
Okay.
Okay. Like I said, don't compare your simple work to my complex pieces.
Show us the mandala.
Here it comes. Are you ready for this?
Mr. Mandala. Woohoo!
Yeah, here it is. Oh no, that's a business card that I did it on the back of. Okay, here we go.
Oh! When did you do that?
Very nice.
Well, it took me several months, obviously, but there it is, people. My mandala. But look, it's got dots, it's got pointy bits and everything.
Everything.
I'm even going to sign it for you. Yeah, there you go. It's got a center. It's got colors.
But did you take the compass? The question.
Don't hit me with technical words. It's very late, and I'm going to go to bed. So there we are. God. So basically, what do you think?
I think
Piece of crap?
Not at all.
First one.
My first ever mandala.
That's very good.
I think you can use her techniques though.
But you know, it's a great start, because to just express yourself anyway is a great start. Some people refuse to put pencil to paper,
well,
and you've done that.
It was
so
fun.
well done.
It was fun. And for me, everything has to be fun. Otherwise, I don't do it.
A day without laughter is a day wasted.
So thank you for inspiring me to have a bit of fun with my coloured pencils, my coloured felts.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for the gift.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I don't know where. Or maybe I'll come down to Nice and have a free holiday. Oh, I love these spontaneous ideas. They just come to me, you know? Just come to me like that.
I thought I was coming up to Paris next week.
2 weeks? Nice? Okay, I can do that.
Okay, sounds good. I'll be in London. Yeah. No, you're welcome. You're welcome. Bring the gift in person. Not a problem.
Oh, well, that worked out well, didn't it, people? Okay, listen. Marie-Louise, is there anything else to say?
No, I'm very good. I mean, watching you guys, it's...
Other than that, I hate labels, but I could call myself the creativity coach in Paris, helping people to be more creative in anything and everything they do. And basically, you know, injecting creativity into their lives, the universe and everything. And that's just the first session, and we take it from there. How about you, Marie-Louise? Who are you? What do you do?
You know, I help those people that want to have more self-confidence in themselves and do beautiful things, you know, in the world.
I thought you were going to say you help people who need therapy after my sessions. No?
No way! I'm not taking those.
Oh my God, I've just had a session with Sam. I need help, please.
Impossible.
Yeah, okay. All right. So we better start.
Yes, I think so.
We've had some amazing people watching. That is incredible.
Yeah,
thank you so much, everybody, for coming. Oh, I've got Vladimir is telling me it's a very nice mandala. Either it's a very nice mandala or you're a very nice man. I'm not quite sure which. Maybe both. Maybe both.
Oh God. We should go, I think, Sam. Nathalie,
we better go, yeah.
You know,
yeah, you first. You first.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for inviting me, and thank you to everybody who's here and who's watching and who shared some comments and some kind words. And you know, I just say one last thing?
Yes.
Is that, you know, life always gives us another chance, and it's called tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you know, if you're finding it difficult to first love yourself, come on over to Fly Movement and send me a message. I'm here. I'm here to listen. I'm here to be here for people and to be of service. I know what it's like to go through tough times, and I've survived it. And you know, I'm here. So you know, I'm here to show and share what it's about, loving ourselves first. And so, if you know someone or whatever, I'm right here. So let's fly together, and let's fly in July and always after that. So that's it.
That's it.
That's it. What a beautiful
message of hope.
Example. Yeah. Perfect.
Oh, I cried. I was almost about to cry then if you hadn't stopped me. Yeah.
I didn't.
Okay, humans are amazing human being. Like people are. Every single one of us have something amazing to bring to this world. We're all a beautiful gift, and if only we could just see more of that in ourselves.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So.
Perfect. Okay. Thanks everyone for being here. Thanks to you too. Thanks to me. Thanks to coffee. Thanks to mandalas. Marie-Louise, you didn't do a mandala for us, no?
No, but I'm going to start.
Okay.
I'm going to start very soon.
Well, I know someone who does online training for it, and she's quite nice.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I know one too. You buy one, you get one, and you get to bring a friend too. So.
Marie-Louise, you buy it. Take me. me. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I've got my free place on the mandala course. I've got a 2-week holiday in Nice. It's looking pretty good, actually. I'm going to do this again.
Who said that? 2 weeks.
Don't worry.
You just created the 2 weeks.
Okay.
More like 2 months.
Bye. See you next week with another guest, I hope.
Yeah.
If you want to be the guest and you've got something wonderful to share, we're waiting for you.
Get on. Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Nathalie.
Bye.
Thank you, Sab.
Ciao. Bye.
Bye.